Hey! What if one small quarter in your pocket was worth thousands of dollars? It's true, some rare US quarters look just like any other coin, but they're worth big money. Today, we'll show you 3 of the most valuable ones. Let's find out what makes them so special. First up, we have the 1976 bicentennial quarter. This coin was minted to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the United States, and it's one of the most iconic coins in US history. The reverse side of the coin features a colonial drummer, a patriotic figure that symbolizes the American Revolution. It was part of the special bicentennial coin series, marking a major milestone in American history. But, while many of these quarters are familiar to us, not all of them are valued the same. Now, most 1976 bicentennial quarters are relatively common, so you'll likely see these in your everyday change jar or in coin rolls. However, there's a twist, some of these quarters are worth a lot more than the rest. I'm talking about the 1976 no-mint mark bicentennial quarter. You see, most of the 1976 bicentennial quarters have a mint mark on them, whether it's the D for Denver or the S for San Francisco. But, in a rare mistake, a small number of these coins were minted without a mint mark. This error makes these coins much more valuable than their counterparts. So, why is this missing mint mark such a big deal? Well, collectors go crazy for coins with minting errors. These small mistakes are considered rare treasures because they're not supposed to exist. And because of this, the 1976 no-mint mark bicentennial quarter is highly sought after by coin collectors. In pristine condition, a 1976 no-mint mark bicentennial quarter can be worth anywhere from $500 to $1,000. Not bad for a quarter that was originally worth just 25 cents, right? But if you're talking about a coin in MS-69 condition, a nearly perfect grade, the value skyrockets to as much as $19,200 at auction. And here's where it gets really interesting. If you're lucky enough to find a 1976 no-mint mark quarter with some kind of error, like a double die or an off-center strike, the value could go even higher. Some of these rare error coins have been reported to sell for $90,000 or more. Can you imagine finding a coin like that in your pocket change? The beauty of coin collecting is that these types of errors are incredibly rare, but if you manage to stumble upon one, you could be holding a fortune. An off-center strike happens when the blank planchet, the metal disc the coin is made from, is not aligned properly during the minting process. This results in a coin that's stamped slightly off-center, leaving part of the design missing. These coins are fascinating because they look different from any regular quarter in circulation, and that makes them even more valuable to collectors. Then we have double die errors, which are even rarer. This happens when the design is struck more than once, causing the image to appear doubled. Double die errors are some of the most famous and desirable mistakes in the world of coin collecting. Now, let's take a moment to think about what this all means. If you happen to have a 1976 bicentennial quarter without a mint mark, check it carefully. Look for any signs of an off-center strike or a double die error. These small details could make your quarter worth a lot more than just 25 cents. Even though most of these quarters are pretty common, the ones with errors or no mint mark are truly something special, and their value reflects that. So, if you ever come across one, it's definitely worth taking a second look and seeing if you've got a potential hidden gem in your collection. Next up, let's talk about the 1998 D Washington quarter. At first glance, this quarter might seem like just another modern coin, but here's where it gets interesting. Some versions of this coin are way more valuable than you might think, and they're highly sought after by collectors. Most of us have probably seen the 1998 D Washington quarter before. It's part of the regular series of quarters, and the design is the same as the one we've seen for decades, George Washington on the front, with the eagle on the back. But not all 1998 D Washington quarters are created equal. Some versions of this quarter are actually worth a lot more than face value. The key to the value lies in the condition of the coin. High-grade versions, especially those graded in MS-67 condition, are super popular among collectors. In fact, a quarter in this condition can easily be worth $100 or more. But here's where it gets even more exciting. There's a special version of this coin called a proof-like coin. What makes a proof-like coin stand out is its mirror-like shine. This unique finish makes the coin look almost as polished as a proof coin, but it was actually made for regular circulation. Proof-like coins are special because they have that beautiful, shiny surface that's almost as flawless as proof coins, which are made for collectors and not for regular circulation. These coins are highly desirable because they're rare, and they can be worth $400 or more in pristine condition. So, what's the big deal about proof-like coins? Well, proof-like coins were made just like normal circulation coins, but they ended up with an unusually shiny and smooth finish. And collectors love these shiny versions because they're harder to find than regular coins. If you're a collector trying to complete your set, a proof-like 1998 D Washington quarter would be an awesome addition to your collection. These special, shiny quarters are a rare find, and that's what makes them so valuable. So, if you come across a 1998 D Washington quarter, don't just assume it's worth only 25 cents. Take a closer look, check its condition. If it's in really good shape, you might be holding on to something worth a lot more. And remember, collectors pay extra for high-quality coins, especially those with unique finishes like proof-like coins. If you've got one of these in your collection, you might just be sitting on a little treasure. Finally, let's take a look at the 1999 D Connecticut State Quarter. This coin is part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, which started in 1999. The idea behind the program was to honor each state with its own unique coin design. The Connecticut Quarter, which was released in 1999, celebrates the state's rich history and features the charter oak, a symbol of Connecticut's independence. Now, while the regular versions of the 1999 D Connecticut Quarter are pretty easy to find in your pocket change, some special versions of this coin are worth way more than face value. For example, high-grade versions, like those in MS-67 condition, are worth around $24. While that might not sound like a lot, keep in mind that this is a quarter we're talking about. $24 for a single coin is a pretty good deal. But here's where it gets even more interesting. If you come across a version with errors, like a double die or a misstruck coin, you could be in for a much bigger payday. Some of these error versions can sell for $500 or more, depending on how rare the mistake is. Error coins are highly collectible because they're unique. People love finding coins that weren't made the way they were supposed to be. And in some extreme cases, error coins from the 1999 D Connecticut Quarter series have been known to fetch $1,000 or even more, especially if the coin has unusual or rare errors, like a double die reverse or a misaligned strike. Let's break it down a little more. A double die reverse error happens when the coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear doubled. This can happen when the die itself is misaligned or improperly handled, and it leaves a blurry or doubled image on the coin. These types of errors are super rare, and they're often worth a lot more than regular versions. Then, there's the misaligned strike, another cool error you want to look out for. This happens when the metal blank that the coin is stamped on doesn't line up correctly during the minting process. As a result, part of the coin's design is either cut off or stamped off-center, making it look unusual and unique. Misaligned strike errors are prized by collectors because they're harder to find than regular coins, and they can really increase the value. So, if you're hunting for 1999 D Connecticut State Quarters, keep an eye out for anything unusual. If you find a coin with a double die or misaligned strike, you could be holding on to something worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. It's definitely worth taking a closer look, especially if you're a serious collector looking for rare finds. Conclusion. So, there you have it. Whether it's the 1976 no-mint marked bicentennial quarter, the 1998 D Washington quarter, or the 1999 D Connecticut quarter, these coins are worth much more than you might think. With their unique histories, special designs, and valuable minting errors, they've become highly sought after by collectors. If you have any of these rare coins, it might just be time to get them appraised. Who knows, you could be holding a small fortune. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more amazing coin stories. Happy coin hunting!